Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Life Coach Shaun from Life Coach Philippines, and this is coaching for Inspired Fidelity. Yes, this is my new segment inside Coaching Think Talk and my first episode of Coaching for Inspired Fidelity. These coaching conversations are for men who want to speak about their thoughts, their feelings, and emotions. And my mission is to be able to help 1 million men to live, to love, to learn, and to laugh, and to live a life or live a legacy in this world. And thank you for joining me live today. And please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you are presently located as of this very moment, as of this very day. Please do tag your friends and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in need of this message that I will send to you. Send them an inspiring message for today. Send them out, ask them to join in, bless them this morning. If you are watching this on a replay, please do comment hashtag replay in there. I'm streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and also YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. If you are new to both platforms, please like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. And if this is the first time you are joining me, if this is the first time you're seeing me, if this is the first time that we're having a connection, I am life coach Shaun De Hoya. I'm the man from Pasig City, a professional co-actively co-create life coach, and I'm also a professional mental health coach. And as a life coach, I empower men to be mentally fit so that they can stay inspired to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. And my focus is in the area of self-leadership. And self-leadership is our ability to be intentional on the way we feel and the way we think and the way that we act. And being intentional means that you're intentional with the kind of relationship that you want with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, and other people. And you're also intentional about the kind of experiences that you want to create for yourself and also for other people. I think as men know, we want to be in the space where we're able to make good connections, where we're able to have that intimate conversation with people. When I'm talking about intimacy, I'm not talking about sexual part. No, I'm talking about having deeper conversations, having conversation about your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your dreams. These things that men seldom talk about. Us men never, seldom talk about to other people. And the only time that we're able to express that is with people that trust us. But how many, like for the men out there, how many people, or if can you count in your hands that one person that you're able to share everything? I mean, everything about you, even the small little nitty details, those things that you're not so proud about, those things that you want to keep in the closet. How many people in your hands are you able to express these thoughts? Because if you are like me, the thoughts that I have, the deepest desires that I have, I can't count it in my hands if I have that. And those are some things that I'm working towards too. And I'm helping other people to, other men in that process, for them to start reflecting on who they are, to start accepting who they are, to start appreciating who they are, and start really appreciating that, even at the end of the day, when things are not going well, you're still being blessed to have an opportunity to change your now for tomorrow. I believe that we cannot change our past, we cannot change our future yet, but we have the power to change our today. The actions that you take today will influence the future. The actions that we do today, this conversations that we're having, the relationship that we have today changes the future. And it's always now, 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 now. So how much, how much do you know yourself? For the men out there, how much do you know yourself? And if you know yourself, what is it, that one thing, that one single thing that you haven't said to your spouse yet? Or maybe if you don't have a spouse, to your parents yet? Or maybe you don't have your parent is not there with you, maybe it's your girlfriend, maybe it's other people that are really really close to you. What is that one thing that you haven't shared to them about you? Because when you start speaking this, when you start sharing this with other people, when you start expressing it, it removes the pressure in our mind, and it also starts to heal our heart. And that is the power of being able to say what you want, say what you mean, and say the things that you want to say because you know that that's something that of value. And our words is valuable. Our words can breathe life and it will also kill. So let's be mindful when we're doing that. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. For those who's joining, maraming salamat yan. The coaches are here. Leonard, thank you for joining for the northern part. Coach Nards is also here. Master Coach Asmin, maraming salamat. Coach Maripe, Coach Lady Jan, thank you very much for joining me. And thank you as well for inviting other people out there. Invite men out there. Have them join me. Have them join me. And for those of you who joined me, or maybe you don't know me yet, I've been married for 19 years. I started way early as a father and as a husband. When I was 19 years old, now I have two kids. They're aged 19 and 16 years old. One is my daughter, one is my son. My daughter is now an animator and she's an entrepreneur. She's earning from the talent that she has. And my son is on her way trying to find out if he wants to be an automotive engineer or a 3D modeler, a 3D modeler. If you're familiar with 3D modelers, what they do is they create this digital version of what you see on their day-to-day activities. Like there was one time that he created an apple that looks like an apple. You would thought that it's a picture, but it was created in 3D, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful feeling. And those are the two kids that I have. And I'm also, what you would know about me is I am not normal. Yeah, and I have not normal. I have a mental condition, and a mental condition that I have is I am unable to regulate my emotions, and it's something that is not allowing me to express myself because I have extremes. Either I just don't talk, or either I go ballistic. Yeah, those two things. Most often than not, I'm able to just be quiet and eventually give me some time to breathe a little bit, not to bother me for now, until eventually I get a reflection, I get to realize that then I have a conversation with you. But those are the things that are triggering my emotions. Those are the things that are triggering my mental health. And if that is something that maybe someone who has that, who's having challenges with them expressing their emotions, then let them know that help is available here at Life Coach Philippines. Just send them this video to them so that we can help them as they journey in their life. Because it's a challenge. It's really a challenge to connect emotionally to other people. It's also a challenge to express your emotions because you have this fear of what other people would say about you. We have this men stereotypes of what men needs to be. And unfortunately, this does not allow the men to really be openly expressing themselves. And it limits them, and also affects the way that they think about themselves because it puts too much pressure in their mind where they're not able to express. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about how to live an inspired fidelity. This coaching conversation for me is very, very close to me. Inspired fidelity is something that Master Coach had when we were thinking about the title of my page. Master Coach A, by the way, is my life coach. We've been in a partnership for 3 years now, and one of the things that I've realized is for men specifically, we always want to be in that space where we're living in a time where we're clear of what we want to do. Inspired fidelity is something that you're totally committed to something. You're totally committed not just to your spouse, not just to your children, not just to other people, but to yourself. And when you talk about fidelity is the quality of being faithful and loyal. Yan. We're talking about inspired fidelity. Fidelity is the quality of being faithful or being loyal. Apologies for that. And think about dogs. For example, think about think about for example for a dog. When you think about a dog, it's something that they are loyal about the things that they're doing. They're really fully committed to what they're doing in there and having this conversation. And the word fidelity comes from the Latin word fides. Oh, yeah, fides. Yeah, fides, which means faith. So if you have fidelity, it means that you are faithful. It means that you are totally committed. It means that you are in a state of being faithful. Yan. And being faithful means that you are putting a person or a relationship in proper order or priority in your life. So think about the relationship that you have right now. Think about the way that you're seeing relationship right now. How faithful are you with your relationship? How faithful are you with the relationship with your spouse, relationship with your children, the relationship with your parents, the relationship with other people, like in the workplace or in your business? Like, how faithful are you? Because that is what fidelity is all about. It's being faithful to the people that cares for you, to the people that looks up to you, to the people that follows you, to the people that you mentor. This is what fidelity is all about. And there are three lists of priorities when I talk about a person on a person or a relationship, because fidelity comes in three priorities. And at times, take a look at it. I would like for you to reflect on how you're prioritizing your relationship right now, and take a moment and pause and understand, are my priorities aligned to my purpose? Are my priorities aligned to my original design? Are my priorities aligned to what God is asking me to do? All right? Three priorities. Number one, the first one, when we talk about fidelity, when we talk about faith, we need first to have a relationship with ourselves. You know, you would say, "What, coach? I don't have a relationship with myself." No, hold on. Listen, I believe that when we continue to know ourselves, we start to know God, yeah, more. Uh, Before I was a Christian, I was born a Christian, but eventually, as I progressed and I grew in faith, and I grew in my spiritual life, I converted into Catholic. So I had an experience of what the Christian world is, and I have an experience of what the Catholic world is. And I've learned that the more that you know about yourself, the more that you journey about who you are, the more that you journey about how things life is, the more that you become good stewards of what God has given to you. And good stewards means that you're taking care of yourself. You're faithful to yourself. Like, how often do you start beating yourself, telling yourself that, hey, I'm not good at that, hey, I'm not good at this, hey, this is not me, there's a lot of different things that you tell yourself, and you begin to doubt that if what you're doing is true, what you're doing is right, and what you're doing is just. And you begin to doubt that the message that you're hearing, you're receiving, is not of God, because it's not conforming to the world that we live in. It's conforming to what society dictates. It's not conforming to what society dictates. And it's something that's radical. It's something not new. It's something that people often not see with men and individuals. So how are you prioritizing yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? And how are you, as this very moment, taking a look at your life, and how you're giving your time, your effort, your attention to others? So take a moment in that and reflect on it. Thank you, Coach Rizal. Maraming salamat. Coach Lady then said, fidelity is being faithful and loyal to the people that you care about. Yes, that is true. Are my priorities aligned to what God designed for me? That is a powerful question, Coach Nord. Is it aligned to to what God has designed? Because every one of us is designed this world to do something. We're not just designed here to have a job, do that job for 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. Maybe you've tried 20 hours. I tried working 20 hours for the last 2 weeks, and I was so exhausted after. The account was burning so much that I needed to stretch myself. But afterwards, I was so exhausted. So when you're taking a look at it, when you're reflecting on yourself and your life, how are you prioritizing it? How are you putting care in yourself? So the second priority list, yeah, is our relationship with our loved ones. Of course, When you have a relationship with yourself, the next one is the relationship with others. Like with your loved ones, when we make connection and build relationship, are we in a space of empathy and compassion? Are we in a space in which we really put ourselves in a space of understanding the person? We put ourselves in a space of being interested of why that person thinks that way, why that person is saying those words, why is this person acting as such, and also helping them to create boundaries between you and them, because at times people get too demanding about their time with you, your support from you, that you get lost sight of what your life is all about. So when you prioritize your relationship, how is that in order? How is that in synergy? How is that, others would call it balance, but they call it synergy in relationship. So fidelity, the first one, as I've said, is the fidelity with yourself is a priority. The second is in your loved one. And the third is the relationship with others. You know, others, when I talk about it, are the people that you interact with every single day. The people that you connect with every single day. Can be your workmates, can be your boss, it can be, people outside. Maybe you go outside, you talk to people. Who are these people? Who are these people that take your time? Who are these people that requires your attention? Who are these people that gets your attention? Who are these people that you give sometimes all of your time and sometimes resources in, that's not allowing you to live in a life of fidelity? And how are these people influencing the way you see the world right now? How are these people influencing the way that you make decisions in life? One of the things that I've realized and I've learned when I was growing up is I conform to what society dictates of what success is all about. You would see that success is something that you have a house, you have a car, you have a status, you have this and that, and so on and so forth. But is that really allowing you, to be submissive to what your true calling is, what your God is asking you to do? Ang maganda yung sinabi ni Coach Lady Jen. Just as each one has received a gift, use it to serve others as good stewards of varied grace of God. 1 Peter 4:10. Yeah. Like, how are we becoming good stewards of what we have right now? Like, you specifically as an individual, how are you taking care of yourself? How are you taking care of your health? How are you taking care of your boundaries? How are you taking care of you? Especially for men, we give ourselves too much in the work that we do. We give ourselves too much in our families, in our relationship. Maybe you're someone who's taking care of your parents still. And you ask yourself, is this really it? Is this really the life for me? Is this really what I am called to do in this world? Or there's more into it? About 5 years ago, I went into a journey, and I worked in the corporate world for 14 years in a call center industry. They're BPO now. And the way that I've seen life is for you to focus towards being a provider to the family, financially providing, giving the money, the resources, the house, the cars, and so on and so forth. And I thought that was what really life is. And I continued to that, pursue that, and so on and so forth. And until such time that I was put in a space in which I started to doubt myself. I started to ask questions. I started to understand is this really my life? Is this really it? I've learned about the word the rat race. And the rat race is in which you just continue to pursue a prize. Like in the corporate world, a promotion is a prize. And you continue to pursue that, but it's a never-ending cycle of going up, going up, going up, and trying to ask yourself, what is life really all about? What are we intended to do in this world? And what is it that we are called to do in this world? Some people would get to switch things around when you talk about these priorities, when you talk about yourself, when you talk about your loved ones and other people. It's completely the reverse. Priorities would start with other people first, people pleasing the people that don't like us anyway. Or sometimes it get confused where the priority is the family first, and we tend to lose sight of who we are and what we need to do. And that is where uh, certain challenges and doubts and fears and anxiety starts to coming in, because we don't know now what is it that we're called in this world to do. The priority starts changing, rather than the priorities of putting you first, putting the oxygen mask to you first, so you don't get lost in the process. Because a lot of people in the workplace right now are losing their identity, they're losing their purpose, and they're losing themselves as well. Fidelity is important in every relationship. As I've said a while ago, fidelity begins with your fidelity with God. Yeah, you might say I'm talking about spirituality and so on, but it's the truth. I've learned that I'm not the type who prays, not intentionally anyway. I always think that to be successful in this world is for you to take charge. Take charge of the decisions that you make, take charge of the relationship that you have, take charge of everything, and thinking that there's no God to really guide you with. But as I progressed, I've learned that if you want to be living an inspired fidelity, you need to be able to know God. And knowing God starts with you, starts with your inner core. Some people may confuse that the word fidelity focuses primarily on sexual behavior, that you need to be uh, in fidelity with your spouse. But that's not true. That's just half of it, just like teeny weeny bit of it. And as I've shared, if you want to be faithful, if you want to be faithful to your spouse, if you want to be faithful to your parents, you want to be faithful to your children, you need to start putting your faith in yourself first. Because the more that you invest in yourself, the more that you know about yourself, you get to order this tree into a way that you're thriving. So think about the moment this week, it's Thursday. Where have you been spending your time on? Where have you investing your energy on? And where have you been investing your interest on? Like, where do you use your free time today? Do you invest it in activities that allows you to grow? Do you invest it in activities that allows you to strengthen your relationships? Do you invest it in activities that allow you to be a better person? Because the decision that you make today, as of this very moment right now, with you watching here, will change the course of your future. But it doesn't stop with just learning. It's a continuously, evolving, taking action, implementing it. I'm a mental model collector, and we talk about the um, 10,000 experiments that you need to, if you want to master something, if you want to find the best solution, is to do is experiment 10,000 times. That is how you can start to live an inspired fidelity. And it doesn't need be so complicated. It just needs to be so easy. And the easy bit is, if you want to live an inspired fidelity, just one thing: be intentional of what be intentional with what you do and the value that you put in to what you do. Why is that activity valuable to you? What will it do to you when the time comes that God calls you and say, hey, your time is done there? Or maybe the time that you would say that, God, I'm okay. I've done all of the things that I need to do. I've accomplished these things and I'm okay already. You can take me. So remember, When you set priorities, if you want to live an inspired fidelity, there are three peoples in relationship that you need to take a look at. The top one is yourself, your relationship with God. The second is your relationship with your family. And the third is the relationship with others. Don't mix this around. You first, then others. It cannot be others first, then you. That's not selfish, because you cannot give what you don't have. And the more that you continue to invest on yourself, the more that you continue to take care of yourself, the better is it for you, and the better is it, of course, for your children and their children, because you influence your children. You are the first teacher of your children. And whatever happens, if you're doing the right thing, you're prioritizing the right person, which is you. That is something that your children would mirror, your children will follow, and they would also teach that to the next generation. If you're someone who's looking for assistance, if you're someone who's looking for a community, who you want to start expressing yourself, I would like to invite you here at Life Coach Philippines. Message us. If you need coaching services, we offer a complimentary coaching session. It's a 1-hour coaching session. Just message us or message Coach yourself. You see that her there, 0917-586-1661, to book a coaching conversation, a discovery session, a strategy session. Let's have a conversation. Let us help you live an inspired fidelity. Let us help you, find that way where you want to go, where God is leading you, and finally live that life, because you are designed to be something and to do something in this world. Make that a reality, so that when it's time for you to go home, you would say, God, I did it. I made it. I make it happen. Thank you very much for joining me. As I end this conversation, let me invite you to be part of what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. If you are not yet a smart holder of the Be Learning e-card and you are still missing on the perks that we enjoy today, is the best time for you to take action. Connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society. It's a tent maker of the Be Learning homes for mental fitness, and what you will get is 3 perks. You get a 5% food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic, and you get a full access of the Mental Model Masterclass, which is going to happen every third Saturday of the month. And you also get a 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. If you are new to the concept of mental model, a mental model is an explanation of how something works. Like I'm sure a while ago, it's a 10,000 experiment. It's a concept, it's a framework and a worldview that you carry around in your mind to interpret how you see the world, how you understand the world, how you see relationship. And mental models are deeply held beliefs about how the world works. And why is this important? Because as you continue to build this, you're able also to break those cognitive biases that you have about this world, about other people, and it helps you become a better person and a better stewards of your life, and also the stewards of your environment. Save the date. It's going to be on September 18 at 7 p.m. for our next Mental Model Masterclass with Master Coach A. She will teach the multiplier skills mental model masterclass. You have a skill there. Let's study how you can multiply it and utilize it in any area of your life. Double it, and be a better person. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. Do join us for another coaching conversation later at 2 p.m. with Coach Nords for coaching for intentional living, and also Coach C for coaching for barrenness at 4 p.m. Coaching Think Talk happens every day at 10 a.m., at 2 p.m., and at 4 p.m. This one, Coaching for Inspired Fidelity, is every Thursday at 10 a.m. And if you have any questions, feel free to message us. Once again, thank you very much. This is Life Coach Shaun Joya from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines. La bam boom, la bam boom, la bam boom. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.